Alright guys, let's get into actually creating this beast of a page. What we're going to do first is we're going to create a class in themes for container, and this is going to be margin theme.spacing.unit times 3, and form control is going to be margin theme.spacing.unit. Now we're going to create an input field here for the title. So form control is the class that we're going to use, and the class name is going to be classes.formControl. And think of this kind of as a container around what is actually in there. So this is going to house the input label, the input, and also the error message if there is an error message. So let's create the input label. So input label HTML4, and this is the React property tag for basically 4. So in HTML, the tag would be 4 equals and then whatever ID the label is for. In React, we use this. So title, and then it's going to say title. Now we're going to create our input with ID of title. Name is going to be title. And let's save this like that. And we've got this field here. So now if I look in the React inspector and I come up here to add post, and if I look at values, and if I start typing here, we'll see that it didn't change. Now Formic has a field component that we can use to solve this so that we don't need to manually call this .props.setFieldValue. And so to do this, what we're going to do is up here where we're importing with Formic from Formic, we're also going to import, here's my text, we're also going to import field and form. Now we are going to, under add post, we are going to create a form. And then on input here, we're going to set component equal to field. And we're going to save this. Now, when I inspect and go into React, I click up here, and I look at the add post and go way to the bottom to values. If I start typing in here, we still don't get anything. And this is actually something that is, it just doesn't work. I mean, we could make it work, but basically what happens is we want to kind of because previously when we were doing the contact form, we can look at the fields here, and we were doing all this manually. and we want to kind of have it done automatically. So yeah, with Material UI, so with Formic, you can add a field and set the name property, and it just will work. The field will respond to prop updates basically every time you update the value. And so this with Material UI, there's a lot of times when you can set a component as the renderer, sort of. Like with the posts page, right here, I set the component for the fab to an actual router link. And so it knows to use that instead of, the base fab component as the component that it's rendering. So anyway, there is a fix for it, and somebody made a library. I'm not sure who it is. One sec. We're going to install, it's called Formic Material Fields. Material Fields. And it's a lot easier when you actually use Google instead of DuckDuckGo. GitHub Formic Material Fields. Oh, I've got the URL. Okay. So it's Daxianseng. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. I probably butchered it. I apologize. But great job on this library, because it actually allows us to work with both Formic and Material UI to create beautiful forms while retaining the Formic behavior and Material UI. So what we're going to do is npm install that. So let's go ahead and type npm install -- save, and the package is called Formic -material -fields. So let's let that get installed, and in our add post page, let's actually go and import that. So let's get rid of the field component from Formic, and we are going to import, and this needs to be wrapped in curly braces, Formic text field from Formic -material -fields, and let's save. And then down here, we're going to get rid of our input, and actually we're going to get rid of form control as well, because we won't need that label. So let's go ahead and get rid of, all that. Form text helper, input, and full form control. All right, so we can get rid of all those Material UI fields, actually. All right, so now in our form, starting fresh, let's go ahead and add Formic text field. And the thing that we're actually going to be setting here is going to be name, which is title. Label is going to be title. Margin, let's set normal, and full width. And let's save this, and then run npm start. And as you can see here, when I installed that, it told me I have 78 vulnerabilities. 15 of them are high, so let's actually figure out what to do about that. Generally, when you see this message, it can be fixed just by running npm audit fix. And then we're going to wait for that to complete. And actually this time it could not fix them. So, I mean, we'll wait on that. We'll come back to what to do under these circumstances. So for right now, let's just go ahead and run npm start. You can manually fix conflicts and vulnerabilities, and that's something we will get to in a little bit. I don't want to get sidetracked too much from our adding a post page. Alright, so this has installed, so let's go to posts/add. We now have a field, and when we type in, I should be able to check the field here, and let's scroll up to the add post component, and then down to values, and we're getting title. Let's get to touched, and title equals true. And now we can actually, set the errors and whatnot as well. So that's going to be in the validation scheme, which is, where is that? Here it is. So I can, for right now, I'll set title to yup string, which is a function, required, and then the message will be title is required. Save. Now I'm going to click into it and tab out, and we'll see that we get the message here that is required, and the class got changed, or the color got changed to red, which is exactly what we want. Alright, good stuff. Now we also actually need a content area here. And so let's also add slug. Yup, string required. You don't need to add a message here or a string to the required function. It will automatically generate one. Just say something generic like this is a required field or something like that. Content is going to be yup string, and we are going to actually be integrating a WYSIWYG, a what you see is what you get text editor, so like a rich text editor. We'll import one. I found a really great one a few months back called Quill, and so we'll get to setting that up probably in the next video. For right now, I just want to add these fields, get them in there, and then we'll come back and flesh it out a bit. Let's go ahead and just copy this for slug, and then we can do something pretty cool actually. We're going to set the value to this.props.values.title .to lowercase, and then dot replace, and I suck at regex. I do not use it enough to be good at it, and it's mildly annoying, but I think this is going to be right. We're going to open up strings, space /G for global, And we're going to replace that with underscore. All right, let's save. And then, okay, so that didn't work. All right, let's, close, I was close. What we'll do is, I'm sure this has an on-change handler. Let's try this. All right, on-change, I hope it does. We're going to do this dot set field value slug. Going to set it to, whoa, I copied that. We're going to set it to e.target.value and then this. e.target.value dot two lowercase and then this dot props dot values. We'll get rid of this because we know that formic is going to hopefully set it. I mean, it might not. Okay. This set field value. This dot props dot set field value. Let's try that. That would be the correct one. Okay. So the replace is not working, but the two lowercase is. I can't remember how to do that. Is it this? No. Let me search here. JS regex replace all spaces. Oh, it's not in quotes, but I was really close. See, the /G, I remembered that. That means global. All right, let's save this. I think that looks right. Yes, okay. Now we are making progress here. So basically how this will look is, this is my post title. See, and we've got the that right there. Okay, good stuff. Content, and this is going to be replaced with a text editor shortly. So for right now, we'll just have a content area, and then we'll also split this page into columns. And we'll have the right-hand side over here with some paper, and that will basically be for the save button, the post image, which we haven't got to yet, and also the status, which we will select true and false. And so for right now, let's end this video here, and we'll come back to it to finish this form up and get it communicating with the back end, and then we can pull out the posts also on the front end from the database.